All right, we're now recording, so whenever you want to get started is good.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. This is College of Graduate Studies Professional Development Series, and this week's topic is leveraging LinkedIn. Um, I'm just going to go through a little bit about career services if you haven't used us before. We are here for you. We can help all current and prospective students. Even after you graduate, if you need some help from career services, a lot of institutions will charge for that. We do not. So you're welcome to come back to us even 10 years down the road if you're planning a career change. And then we work quite closely with faculty and staff to bring programming like this to different audiences. We also have an employer relations team. All of the employers that you see at the career fairs and the various events that happen around campus are likely a result of their work. And so if there's ever any employers that you would like to see come to campus and that we have not connected with, please let us know, and we can reach out. We handle a number of different career advising topics. So certainly resumes and CVs, cover letters, not always easy to get those started. We're happy to help you structure your cover letter. Major and career exploration. A lot of times we will do this for students just coming into school to see what options there are in a major. Or even if you are well into your major and you're still looking for different options, do come and see us because we can help you do a little bit of exploration there. Graduate school, job and internship searching, that's a lot of what we do. Certainly helping students prepare resumes and CVs specifically for jobs and internships that they're interested in. Interview prep, a lot of not the most comfortable thing in the world. Not everybody loves to do it, and we completely understand that. So we have a lot of different tips and tricks about helping you get prepared for those interviews and kind of getting those nerves out. We can definitely do a mock interview if you have one coming up. And then salary and benefit negotiation, making sure that we can help you advocate for yourself in a negotiation situation. Networking and professionalism today, navigating LinkedIn, that's definitely something we talk about a lot, and preparing for our annual career fairs. Okay, this is a QR code that you're welcome to take a snap of. This is our front page of our website. From our website, there's tons of digital resources on here. You can schedule an appointment. We have lots of different topics. A lot of what we talk about in these presentations are available online for you 24/7. So you can get in there and explore a little bit. Events and info sessions. Oftentimes employers will hold info sessions talking about their company specifically and often giving tips on how to get hired with them. So that's a good resource. And then of course, job and internship listings. Those are all on Handshake, which is our main platform. So Handshake contains job and internship listings, employer information sessions, again, career fairs and the different events that even career services puts on. Last week we had the etiquette dinner. That was kind of fun. And we had a lot of, it's a nice way to get a free meal and then learn how to have a business dinner and conduct yourself in that environment. And then on Handshake also is a career services appointment scheduling as well. Okay, so today we are going to talk about some of the basics of LinkedIn, some tips on setting up your profile and for also making connections. How many have a LinkedIn profile? You can put it in the chat, raise your hand. You both do? Okay. Ashish and Miriam, do you have LinkedIn profiles?
A few others in there now too, don't we?
You others in the chat? You can just give a thumbs up if you have one already.
Several in the chat say they do. Kathy,
Okay.
Miriam, Ashish, Fatima.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we will I'll go through just some basics on this and hopefully even for those who do have some profiles already, maybe you'll learn something about how to strengthen those profiles. So I just asked that. So some of the benefits of using LinkedIn, it is the #1 social networking platform for professionals. Approximately 230 million users in the US and 1 billion worldwide. And I took these stats a few weeks ago, so it does continuously grow. It's a good way to make valuable connections in your field, especially I know Amanda and you've definitely used LinkedIn and you've had some successful connections through it. And this is also a good way to stay connected with your faculty and staff after you graduate and some of your friends that are in college. Everyone that you are going to school with is going to go off and do really wonderful, cool, interesting things. And being able to maintain those connections is always a great strategy for getting started with your networking. And then staying informed about your field or industry, including trends, job postings. It's not the only way, but it is one very good way, especially if you are friends with people in a lot of different industries. You can sort of get the pulse on what trends are happening across your field and others, which could lead some opportunities for collaboration, definitely job postings. Oftentimes people will post on LinkedIn if they have something coming up even before it's advertised. And so that's helpful to kind of understand. So how LinkedIn is used, content sharing has become a very large portion of LinkedIn, approximately 1.5 million pieces of content every minute. And video is really becoming a lot more prevalent. Networking, like we just discussed, allowing users to connect and message each other and just engage in different discussions about their industry. Job searching. A lot of people use LinkedIn for job searching. We will talk about it as a resource for job searching. It is not the only one. And certainly maintaining networks outside of LinkedIn. And using different avenues to search for jobs is going to be important. And then also following companies of interest. I think that's really helpful if you are maybe not ready to go into something now, but looking down the road, kind of understanding what those companies are doing kind of throughout that time that you're looking to connect with them. LinkedIn learning and development continues to be popular. There's an asterisk next to that because it's not free. I think there's maybe a trial period, but I think University of Idaho, do they have a LinkedIn learning account to your knowledge?
That I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, I know we don't pay for one.
Yeah. And I believe I saw a free trial. I'm not sure that it is necessarily something you need to continue to pay for, but if you're interested in just kind of seeing what's on there. And then advertising and marketing. Businesses use LinkedIn for business to business marketing and leveraging those advertising tools on the platform. So those are just like a few different ways that LinkedIn is being used. I think sometimes we think of LinkedIn as like the Facebook of the social networking. That's sort of not as popular, but it, clearly is very popular.
Yeah.
So let's talk about setting up your profile. I use Jen's profile. She's our associate director just because she has a really good one. But mostly some of the basics you'll want to complete and create and complete your whole profile. I see a lot of people that just start to partially fill out their profile. But you'll be able to leverage the tools a little bit better if you pay attention to all the different sections. And so one of the things you can do is create an informative title. So you can add on to your official job title. Jen has helping people talk about how awesome they are, and I think that's a great addition to the Associate Director of Career Services. Sometimes students will say just student at the University of Idaho. You can be very specific. You could say marketing student at the University of Idaho, or you can go way over the top, helping freelancers find new clients and build thriving businesses, romanticizing life. So just know that that's a little bit flexible in how you set up that wording on your initial profile. Background. Pictures and your profile photo. So I often see people will make a LinkedIn account, but not include a photo, or just include a photo of themselves, but no background. Also the opposite, include a background, but no profile picture. But really you can leverage that background quite efficiently. So this particular one, you would want to make sure that you have a recent picture of yourself that looks like you. And so that means, replacing it every couple of years. Wearing what you would like to wear to work. I think that's nice, kind of subliminal message of, no, this is how I want to present myself professionally. And then your face should take up about 60% of the frame. This is my friend Carrie Susie. I think her picture is quite nice, like in terms of size of her face compared to the rest of the frame. Kinsey, I would love to see hers a little bit bigger. But you can see all three have utilized their background photos in relation to their profession. So and what interests them. So Carrie is a very good graphic designer that has a lot of interest in illustration. Kinsey's a marketing person, and I happen to know Bethany's from Florida, and that is a picture of the Florida sunset behind her. And then the background of your profile photo should be pretty neutral, especially if you're putting it against something that is a little bit busier. So you want to pick a background photo that grabs people's attention and really shows what matters to you. Here's some more examples. Clayton, he's College of Natural Resources and Business, and Nate Sheely. I'm confident this is something to do with biological or chemical engineering in the background of his. Annalise is a student, interior architecture and design. So you can see you can really leverage that background photo to show a little bit of your personality.
Yeah, I got mine up right now. I'm like, what are my choices? I realized I actually had, because I was wearing the only time you guys ever taken like a professional photo of me, I was wearing a hat.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I wear a hat there most days. Screw it. I'm gonna put my hat in the. I know I had that thought though, where I was like, there's a lot of thought that goes into it.
There is a lot of thought that goes into it.
Yeah.
Amanda, do you have a specific picture on the background of yours?
Yeah, I was looking at my picture too. I've got some mountains there, and since I'm a camp consultant and camp person, it makes sense.
It makes total sense.
I got this old photo of Fire Lookout.
Oh, I love it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's kind of fun doing that, you know?
I think it's a good way to personalize your page. And when you see a lot of people that are not doing that, then it makes yours stand out a little bit more. I've got the ocean on mine because that's my dream. Okay, one thing you can do to enhance your profile is record and display your name pronunciation on your page. And this actually needs to be done through the LinkedIn app on your phone. But you can go to this edit tool and add a name pronunciation, and it'll let you record your name, and then it will add that to your profile. Certainly I need to do that with mine. So people will pronounce my name Pettit instead of Petit. So yeah, I get that a lot, but it is kind of a nice, thing to just have out there so people don't have to ask. Okay, in setting up your profile, the about section. So this is a section that you can use to quickly demonstrate your skills and accomplishment, but by default, LinkedIn shows the first 3 lines. So when you are writing that, just kind of keep that in mind, that you'll want to really focus that important information in the first 3 lines. But you can show a little bit of your personality in the about section here. So you can see this one is Jen's again outside of work, some of the things that she likes to do. It also includes like some of her accomplishments here and top strengths. So that's a nice little snippet to put in her LinkedIn profile. It's not necessarily, just reiterating a all business kind of voice, but including a little bit of what you like to do as well. Your contact information should be your preferred information. So you can see Jen has her preferred email here. I actually used this section on mine to highlight my website. My page itself is mostly geared towards my current profession, but I'm also a visual artist. And so I use my website here, my LinkedIn, as a link to my website as well. So if you do have a website, or you have, you know, some personal work that you do, a lot of my computer science students have GitHub links on there. So anything you might put in that top part of your resume is a good, you can also include in your LinkedIn. And I would recommend, actually, I would recommend that you do your resume first and then do your LinkedIn profile. Like, get that all structured the way that you want, and then you can use a lot of that information on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, you can actually edit your URL that LinkedIn spits out. So in your public profile settings, you can edit a custom URL. You can see Jen did this before she changed her name on her LinkedIn. Got married last year, so but it can spit out a URL that is pretty lengthy, and so you can shorten that on your LinkedIn profile, and that's, you can also copy that over to your resume if you want. Okay, your education section, this can include any activities, minors that you might have, or certificates, and any additional involvement. And so this person, you know, studied family and consumer sciences, clothing and design, is a graduate level. But then you can see this also includes a lot of the activities. So this is just leveraging that education section a little bit more. So including roles like the apparel chair or a new member educator, some philanthropy, and then also listing out any minors that they have. Again, certainly certificates could be in here as well. Any questions so far? I'm going kind of fast through this.
You can put your, wait, you see, you can put your resume or your CV on LinkedIn?
Oh,
It was like, I think I was
no,
confused.
no.
Okay, sorry, I must have been listening. I was like, how?
Yeah, no, I was thinking, like, if you actually make your resume, that will, then you can take the information from your resume and put it on the
Gotcha, okay,
sections, and
got it.
sometimes
got
it makes it a little bit easier than trying to
Mhm.
edit both of them at the same time.
That makes sense, okay. Well, I just edited my URL. I didn't realize I could do
Good
that.
for
I
you,
have a
right?
much better URL now. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, okay.
I'm learning.
Okay, so this is I think this is an interesting feature of adding your experiences, that you can actually also add photos and videos to, and like different documents to strengthen your skills. So for each experience that you have, you can see this person had a Barker Capital Management and Trading Program, and it's an internship, gave the information and where they did it. And then in this funded trader, also listed out the skills that were used in that. And then some snippets, I believe these were like different articles that were written on there. But if you have things like that, you know, maybe you were a graphic designer and you wanted to showcase some of the projects that you worked on, that might be a good spot for that. Or if you have any media associated with yours, certainly like with your Fire Lookout, you could include some of the articles that have been written on that. And that'll just help strengthen those different experiences. But if you focus on like the top 5 skills that you use for each position, that can also strengthen those experiences. So there's a lot of different sections to what you can fill out on LinkedIn. You might not have everything, but try to fill out as much of the profile as you can. If you're currently about to graduate and you are looking for work, LinkedIn has these things that you can put over your profile picture, these open to work. And if you are like with an organization and you're hiring, you can put on a hiring banner. I think there's a couple of more, but those were the 2 most common ones that I've seen. So you can add those to your profile when you're kind of in an active search, and then people can see that you are looking. You may want to be discreet about how you do that if you are currently employed. Just FYI. One of the ways that people use LinkedIn is to endorse people's skills. So you can see here, you can give others endorsements or get endorsements to verify people's skills. So this is like Jen's, I know her, I could go and endorse her as the associate director or her supervisory skills. And when people endorse you, it can show up on your skills like this. So if someone knows that you are a superstar at InDesign or something, or have like a really, really good technical skill, then people can verify that. Okay, so this is looking at Shauna Corey's profile, the Dean of College of Art and Architecture. And I wanted to show you the snapshot of this so you can see what these different sections of LinkedIn look like. This shows underneath her profile picture these mutual connections that we have. So you can see this is me looking at Shauna's profile and saying, hey, these people we have in common. This shows how many connections she has, her contact info. I believe it puts the education right at the top here. And then how we're connected shows here. And even that she, like how long she has worked here versus when I started, how active the person is on LinkedIn. You can see that like when I took this snapshot, Shauna had just reposted something a week ago. And then like how many followers that she has. And then also other people that we may have in common. And actually, like in looking at hers, I know all of these people. So, you know, it's pretty, I think most of the time it's pretty accurate. It just kind of depends on like how active you are on it and how your information that you listed aligns with what Shauna has listed. Okay, so after you have your profile all filled out, certainly following organizations or industries, different groups of interest, utilizing the newsfeed and really looking to either actively or passively learn about different opportunities. So if you are particularly interested in SEL and SEL careers, you know, then you might end up following that one or the outdoor industry. Those are just like you can go on and search and see what type of pages are out there and connect with them that way. And then those will start to show up in your news feeds. Scrolling through your news feeds to read articles about job postings. You can see down here, you can repost things. That's a really easy way to keep your feed active is to repost things that other people have posted. But you can see like Jen liked this one from DreamWorks. It's a summer internship. Then I might take that and repost it. And my art and architecture folks might see that. Or, you know, things that she's done. So she hosted a book club here, and then she posted a screenshot of everybody reading their book. And so likely the people that were in that group would then repost what she had put on there. Engaging in conversations about articles or news events. And then sharing your own accomplishments or different articles of interest. One thing that is very popular is giving kudos to connections. A lot of people will post when they give have a promotion or get a new position or something like that. And then you can either like it, give kudos to that person, just to keep that interest going. This is one thing I actually am going to like to stop sharing this for just 1 second here. I wanted to show you on the University of Idaho LinkedIn, this alumni tab here. So let me stop for just a second here and we will pull up a new window. Go to LinkedIn here. It's going to make this in. Okay, you know what? I'm actually not gonna do that right now. Let me go back. Um, okay, so if you go to the University of Idaho's LinkedIn page, you will see this tab down here for alumni. And what's interesting about this is when you are kind of in that search mode, that alumni tab, you can really leverage that and filter it. So say you want to work in Seattle and you want to work at a specific firm, architecture firm or something, you can go see if there's any alumni that are currently working there or have worked there previously
I've
and
used
reach
that
out to
feature
them.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really helpful. And I think it's interesting. There's, I think last time I checked, there was about 16,000 alums on there, all over the country. And a lot of people that are on there, have gone on to do other things. And so, alumni, I think um, are more than willing to kind of help people that have been where they've been. Not always, but it's nice to reach out and, and see if maybe they have any advice for you as you're trying to go into a new field, or if you want to make a connection with a company, leveraging the alumni that have also gone here is really helpful. But it does have really good filters on it. And then let's see, okay. Um, I think it's a good way to, I call it like reverse engineering your career. So if you are starting somewhere, seeing where other people started and then moved on from, how they kind of got to where they were, what type of internships they did, what were their first jobs, what companies would they work, were they with? That could be a really good way to just start looking into places. And then lastly, this is a feature that I thought was pretty cool. Jen told me about this. If you are on your phone on the LinkedIn app and you hit this button in the search bar, it will give you a QR code. And so like if you're at a conference and you want to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, this is a good way to share your LinkedIn profile if you don't have a business card on you. You can also, if you're worried about the connection, you can save it to your photos too and do it that way. But this is a pretty handy thing to be able to use, just kind of quickly get connected with people. And then if you are reaching out to people doing interesting work, you might start off with like, hi, I came across your work while researching XYZ on LinkedIn. I'm curious about your specific work, and I'd be wondering if you'd be willing to meet with me. That might be a way to open up the conversation to set up a Zoom call or some other type of interaction. Okay. Any questions? Anything from anyone in the chat? You guys have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, so I just want to ask, so let's say kind of targeting some companies or organization I'm looking forward to working with, and say kind of edging closer to two of them, but um, with a different focus and different background. And then if it was just one, I know that, okay, I may have to do some tweaking with my profile. So if they decide to check me out, it's fine. But if let's say if one is, so for example, my background is in natural resources. And
Okay.
then one target is maybe an academic institution where to either serve as an assistant professor or a research associate or something. And then the other one, let's say, is fully in industry. When I'm in a situation like this where I'm actually targeting these two fronts, how do I stay in between? So
Yeah.
with my profile, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to ask.
I do understand what you're asking, and that is
Yeah.
tricky because it's not as if you like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend changing your profile for each one.
Mm,
So that's a situation where I think you need to make sure that you have all of the relevant information, but what you could do is maybe break that down into like academic experience versus industry experience and have them both listed on there.
mm,
It's going to be easier to do certainly with your resume.
mm-hmm,
Um, but you could also, like I'm thinking about that part in your profile where you can put a link to a website. And so maybe you have a separate avenue that you're pointing to people that have like more extensive academic experience or research
mm,
experience in it.
mm,
Just so you can make sure that you'll want to like fill your profile out to kind of encompass both scenarios. But in your interactions, that's when you'll be emphasizing one thing over the other. Yeah, that's a tricky one.
mm,
That's a good question. I personally have not quite had that, but I sort of like do that myself in that I have, a one career in an academic environment and then another career in a sculpture environment, so
mm,
fine arts. And so I use my LinkedIn website to point towards my sculpture. So it's still in there. My background is still all completely filled out. Graphic design's in there, advertising's in there. But it's right now the kind of the public facing part of it is a little bit more geared towards my academic experience.
mm.
And so you kind of might have to make a decision on which one you are leaning towards and put a little bit
Okay.
more emphasis on that, but making sure that you have the information for both.
Mm. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Are there other questions?
Yeah, we have a couple questions in the chat.
Okay.
The first question is, can you please explain more about what to do to make our LinkedIn page stand out? Any advice there?
Yeah, mostly my kind of overarching one would be to making sure that you are emphasizing your skills and all of your experiences. You are focusing it to the job that you are looking for, and that you are also staying active on LinkedIn and making sure that you get on there, you're updating things, you're updating your skills, you're watching trends, you're connecting with people. That's really, having a LinkedIn page is great, but it's not you're not going to utilize it as fully if you are not active on it.
The second question is about the premium subscription. Does it really matter for searching for a job? Or I'd be curious just in general. Like I see on there like people
Yeah.
who are looking for a specific thing like public speaking, and that's one of my skills. It's like try premium to see who's looking for that.
Yeah, I personally, I don't use it. I don't know anybody in career services that uses it. I think you can do just fine without it. It's kind of another thing to pay for. And LinkedIn, like I mentioned, is not the only avenue for finding jobs. And so I personally would not do it. It's completely up to you, of course, if you want to. But I have not yet seen what the benefit is to paying for that premium subscription. Yeah, other questions? Okay, well, if there's nothing else, you're welcome to reach out to myself or anyone at Career Services, and we're happy to help you at any point. You can just sign up on Handshake for an appointment. And thank you all for joining today.